My name is David Lefkowith, and I'm the Deputy Superintendent of the Department of Education. You're watching this video because you might be interested in becoming a course provider for the Course Choice program. And I'm going to encourage you, if you're interested, to do exactly that. The purpose of this video is to talk a little bit about what it might be like to form the type of enterprise that could be a course provider for Course Choice. To give you some helpful hints on how you might proceed, and maybe to give you some encouragement that you can succeed. This video will be posted on a website that will also offer you a white paper that gives you more concrete tips you can use for becoming a successful course provider for the Course Choice program. Anytime anybody's going to start a new enterprise, they have to define what their offering is going to be. And I suspect that many of you are more comfortable that you're great instructors than perhaps experienced business people. So I'm going to leave the development of the course offering to your best judgment. But let me give you some hints that I think are perhaps going to be helpful to you in framing the new enterprise that you're going to create to provide this course offering. I think in determining what it is you're going to offer to Louisiana students, you have to start with what is your passion. What is it you feel strongly that you can do that will really benefit the students you might work with, whether it's a virtual course or an in-person course? All great enterprises start because someone feels in their core that they have a mission, a purpose, a belief that they can do something superbly well. And that's where your course offering should start as well. I encourage you to think about what your niche might be. Maybe you're an AP teacher who really understands what it takes to get students to excel on that AP test and really believe that school systems throughout the state or in the parish or neighboring parishes where you live will tremendously benefit because of this secret sauce that you have that makes your students so successful. Maybe it's that you help learners who have a hard time with mathematics concepts learn in a way that's not available to them when they take the course in their regular school. Maybe it's because you have the ability to provide online assistance that helps kids learn at night at home in a way that during the day they just can't focus and do. I'm not sure what your niche will be, but think hard about where it is you have a strength that brings to bear that will help the students that you help learn. Lastly, I want you to think in terms of alliances. It's very lonely when you're a sole practitioner. And there's less margin for error. Even if it's just planning as a group, even if you decide to be a solo practitioner, think of at least planning in groups. You know that there's strength in numbers. If you're a teacher, you know that getting together and collaborating with your colleagues is an important and useful step. So I'm encouraging you to think about alliances. Maybe think about teaching as a group with other teachers or former teachers. Maybe think about going to the school system and saying, I can augment what you do with your students. And if you give me a facility to work in, I can provide something very useful. Maybe think about going to an area of business and doing the same. All I'm saying is don't be lonely. Don't make this a lonely exercise. There's strength in numbers. Second, you're going to need to operate like a business. You're going to need to create a business. Now, the first thing you have to do is determine what your costs are going to be to create this service and to provide it. There's instruction costs. There's facility costs. You may be used to the school, just showing up and there's your classroom. Well, in this world, you're going to have to make arrangements for a facility. That could be at a school, could be in a mall, could be anywhere, could be online. So you have to figure out what it is you're going to spend in terms of facilities or virtual facilities. You've got to think about what your teaching materials are going to be, and sometimes you will have created the materials. Sometimes you'll be purchasing the rights to the materials from some other provider, and you're just going to have to make sure you observe the legal requirements for doing that and make whatever payments might be due. You're going to have to do some marketing and some selling. Even if you go through the process of applying for course choice, getting accepted, going through the interview, proceeding forward and getting final approval from Bessie, that's just a license to hunt. You've got to then go out and attract students to sign up in your course offering. You're going to have to figure out how you want to do that. Maybe you're going to fly an airplane over the LSU stadium and say, take my course. Maybe not. I'm pretty sure you're going to want to talk with the local officials and the professional school counselors that you know to make sure that they understand and are aware of the wonderful service you have and maybe have students enroll in your course or going to be insurance requirements, some legal requirements. You're going to have to file to become a business with the Secretary of State. You're just going to have to learn what it is to be a business, and that starts with figuring out what your costs are. Then you figure out what your revenues are. You're going to have to set a tuition and figure out how many students might apply, and that'll be your revenues, and then you're going to have to make sure that you have projections where your revenues are greater than your costs. You might want to set up a simple Excel spreadsheet. If you're working in groups, maybe you can all use the same Excel spreadsheet. And let me give you one statistic or one number that's very important, and that is your break-even analysis. You're going to need to know what number of students you need in order to break even given the cost that you're going to incur. Lastly, I urge you, as quickly as possible, start drafting your application. Pretend like I'm giving you the same advice you'd give your students. Answer the questions you know first. Don't worry about the questions you don't know. And if you get your application in early, even if it's incomplete, we'll give you the feedback on the parts that you've done and maybe give you some helpful hints on the parts that you haven't completed. The course choice application process is going to be a nurturing process. We want everyone to succeed. In the best of all possible world, every course provider offers something valuable to Louisiana students, and all of them get the opportunity to do that. That's not necessarily going to be the case. And educational entrepreneurs have the hardest road to travel because they've got to create a business at the same time they're creating a course offering. I don't want you to be discouraged. If you need any help or if you want any assistance, you can go to Apple. They're a great resource for you. Or you can email coursechoice@la.gov and ask for Dave Lefkowith, or people call me Lefty, to answer a question or to provide some help or to look at something and give a reaction. We will help you. We want you to succeed. Good luck. Good luck with the white paper, and I hope that helps you. Contact us if there's anything else we can do.